So if you will say, es-tu en faveur d'une politique vision, very important, vision, which is to aiming at, vision. So I'm saying over here, es-tu en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler, répétez après moi, which is very important point, how to, you know, I already explained to you the type of question. Have you done with this dash, deja, the, blah, blah, blah? We have done this to raise a question like this.
Les parents sont-ils like that we have done, not like
Have you done this type of question making dash, deja, the, dash, deja, the?
no.
Okay, I will explain to
We
you.
did inversion, question making in inversion and other forms like with, what, whom.
Okay, that's not a problem. So now my first thing is es-tu en faveur? Par exemple, see, you want to raise a question to your jury, right? And you will say, are you in the favor of? Es-tu en faveur d'une politique? Es-tu en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler les fumeurs? Now, par exemple, we have a topic for fumer, the smokers. Is it clear to you? Dans les endroits, endroit, basically, we have a place, public, endroit. So this is your question, basically. Now, par exemple, vous avez posé la question avec votre jury, avec votre professeur, avec votre enseignant. So you will say, are you in the favor of the policy to control smokers in public places? Are you? Es-tu en favor? Because you are raising a question. C'est clair. Es-tu en favor d'une politique? So politique, we have a policy. Politique. Politique, we call as policies. C'est clair. Vision. Vision is something like whenever you are aiming at. You are saying, are you in the favor of a policy aiming to control, aiming to control the smokers, les fumeurs dans les endroits publics. So, endroit, we have, the place. C'est clair. We can use, on peut utiliser la place aussi. La place. Place, on peut dire la place. C'est clair. La place. But over here, we are using a smart vocabulary, which is endroit. C'est clair. D'accord?
J'ai une question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Est-ce que c'est savoir si j'utilise informal comme tout, because we are talking with jury, do we need to use?
That's not a problem. Yeah, exactly. No? That's not a problem because I'm just asking you how to raise a question. You can say, êtes-vous?
Okay.
C'est clair?
Okay.
C'est clair? Yeah. D'accord? We can say, êtes-vous? C'est clair? D'accord? Why? So, over here, pourquoi? On peut poser la question avec le jury. So, on peut dire, êtes-vous en faveur? Répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît. Êtes-vous en faveur d'une politique? Quel est le terme politique? Politique, c'est votre policy. C'est clair? C'est clair? Donc maintenant, répétez après moi. Êtes-vous en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler les fumeurs dans les endroits publics? C'est clair?
Oui.
C'est clair? Now, par exemple, jeune mademoiselle, vous devez poser la question avec votre jury. Comment vous posez la question? Mhm,
Est-ce que, like,
mhm,
est-ce que
yes,
vous en faveur d'une politique
mhm.
visant à contrôler la fumée?
Exactement, c'est comme la vision. Vision is something like you're asking, aiming. Are
In the
you in?
vision of
Exactement, exactement. C'est clair, d'accord?
oui.
Right? So this is your question because obviously the moment I start my, sujet, anything, so first, because we have done already like how to raise a question in terms of other the topics, but over here, par exemple, vous avez le sujet comme le fumeur. Vous avez le sujet comme les inconvénients pour l'Internet, d'accord? Et vous devez poser la question. So you can raise the question in terms of vision, which is your aiming at, because you're asking the question, are you in the favor of the policies, politique? C'est clair? D'accord?
Oui.
Ouais? D'accord? Okay. Now, maintenant, and you to repeat after me. Now, par exemple, vous avez le sujet qui soutient beaucoup de inconvénients. If your topic which contains a lot of disadvantages, Chitra Madam, Asian Mademoiselle. So, this is something like, your social irritants. In English, I will say, for example, social irritants, because today you will come to know how you can start with your topic. If your topic of anything like, pollution, réchauffement climatique, your greenhouse effect, your, what I would say, your the circulation, traffic jam. So how you can explain yourself first, because obviously you raise a question like this. Est-ce que vous êtes en favre, êtes-vous en favre d'une politique, disons, blah, blah, blah. But I will explain to you how you can start up with yourself. So I will say, among the social irritants, it is something like this is a social problem, irritants. So I will say parmi. Parmi is among, which is very important. If you apply, parmi is among. C'est clair. Parmi les héritons, répétez après moi, parmi les héritons, this is a social irritant, social problem. So I will say parmi les héritons sociaux. C'est clair. Now you
Excuse
tell
me,
me,
sir,
okay,
what is parmi?
parmi is among,
Okay.
among. Now you tell me, this is something like, if you have a topic of anything, maybe inequality, inequality, this is something like a social irritant. Tell me yes or no. Yes. Why?
Yeah.
A few words can increase the smartness in your sentence if you will apply. C'est clair? D'accord?
Oui.
So, répétez après moi, parmi les héritons sociaux. C'est clair? Now, if you will say, now how we'll start up with this again? Repeat this. You have to apply this connector. Il va sans dire que. Very important connector. This is very important. Il va sans. If I will say yes, obvious. No, for example, if you say in English, yes, obviously it goes without saying that this it contains. This problem is very big problem. If you'll say like this. Now, comment on peut utiliser la même phrase en français? I will say, parmi les héritants sociaux, il va sans dire que it goes without saying that. Par exemple, vous avez le problème, vous avez le sujet comme l'échauffement climatique, la pollution, l'embouteillage, la cigarette, par exemple. D'accord? C'est clair? So over here, you can apply your sujet, any topic you have, which contain disadvantage, right? So you will say, parmi les habitants sociaux, il va sans dire que la cigarette se tient, have you done with this? Se tient en tête de liste.
Oui.
Se tient, why?
Oui.
Claire?
Oui.
Jason, mademoiselle, say Claire.
Oui.
Why? So what I'm saying, oh my God, parmi les habitants sociaux, among the social irritants, il va sans dire que, répétez après moi s'il vous plaît, répétez après moi, il va sans dire que, it goes without saying, la cigarette se tient, what is tient? So over here, Jason, mademoiselle, we have verb tenir. Tenir is my verb to hold. Literally meaning of tenir is my verb to hold. Now, obviously, you know, venir is my verb to come. Say Claire.
Yeah.
Now, how you can learn those conjugations? Because venir, tenir, devenir. Répétez après moi. Repeat after me, please. Devenir is my verb to.
Tenir, venir, devenir, to
And
become.
yeah, exactly. Over here, we have a same conjugation. Je viens, je tiens. Say Claire, have you done venir verb? Over here, we have je viens. Say Claire.
Yes, je viens.
Je viens. And over here, tenir, we have je tiens. Say Claire.
Okay.
D'accord? Why?
Yeah.
So I'm saying this problem is at the top of the list in my country. You have to give the, if you will give the country comparison, definitely you will get something in your, in your oral. Say Claire. If I will say, why? Vous avez raison, mademoiselle. Répétez après moi. Vous avez raison, mademoiselle. Repeat after me, s'il vous plaît. Vous avez raison.
Vous avez raison.
It means, we use this term, you are right, you are right. So, vous avez raison. Vous avez raison.
Vous avez raison.
If I will say, vous avez raison, mademoiselle et madame, parmi les habitants sociaux, il va sans dire que la cigarette, or maybe la pollution, okay, any topic qui soutient, which contain a lot of inconvenience, disadvantages. So can we use these terms? Tell me yes or no.
Oui.
So these type of things, connectors will increase your oral. Okay, c'est clair. Now répétez après moi. Est-ce que vous êtes, we can say, êtes-vous en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler les fumeurs dans les endroits publics? Endroit we call as place. Now répétez après moi s'il vous plaît. Have you done with this? Okay, I will write it down. Did you write what I mentioned in the whiteboard earlier? Did you write
Yeah.
just okay? So can you speak, Jason?
Êtes-vous en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler les fumeurs dans les endroits publics?
Say Claire. Chitra Madam, can you please speak?
Oui.
Mm-hmm.
Êtes-vous en faveur d'une politique visant à contrôler les fumeurs dans les endroits publics?
Say Claire. Jason Mademoiselle. Say Claire.
Oui.
Why?
Oui.
Okay. So repeat after me. Parmi les habitants sociaux, il va sans dire que le problème, bla bla bla.
Parmi les errants sociaux, il va sans dire que la cigarette se tient en tête des listes.
Au tête de liste, Claire.
The list.
Yes, exactly. Because you know what?
Okay.
These type of phrases will help you out, to increase your orality. Vous avez le problème. If you have a sujet we have in which, you will say, yes, it is very big problem, blah, blah, blah. Take that. Now, if I will say, now, par exemple, vous avez le sujet comme malbouffe. Anything,
Mal.
Malbouffe, you know, bad eating habits, malbouffe. Okay. Anything which is related to your health. If you have a top pen down, please, because today the topic is very, very important. If you have any topic which is, you know, related to your health, to your, you know, what the sonte, because obviously, if you have a, you tell me one thing. If you have topic of pollution, so is it something like I can use the line for the health something? Because obviously it can be bad effect in my health. So any topic, internet also, if I'm using continuously internet, it may bad effect in my eyes, blah, blah, blah. It means my health, it means it is something to my, related to my health. Stay clear. So how I can say this thing, it affect our health. I will say laser fade, no, no. So this is something like the techniques. C'est votre règle et réglementation. C'est clair? D'accord? So you will say, elle touche. Répétez après moi. Elle touche à la santé. Elle touche à la santé de la population de mon pays, surtout. Now what is this? Over here, a, because we have a two, a, we have a graph over here. Santé, e, we have a ague. C'est clair? D'accord? Okay, over here we have mistake of population. Population. Over here we have P. The typing error. C'est clair? D'accord? Now what I'm saying? Elle touche à la santé de la population. Touche, touch, touchable. But how? So yes, this is how the language works. Elle touche, the topic we call as L. Either you can write the topic. Okay? Elle touche à la santé de la population. It affects. Now you will, this is something like les faux amis don't water long. Faux amis? Wrong friends? Exactly. Now what is this? Literary translation of your, because obviously this is your modulation, modulation. Now, for example, I will say toucher, which is to touch. But the sense of language over here is a fact. So this type of senses, this type of, you know, the practice will explain to you how you can go with your sense of, say what the sons and what the sons. Sons, a water song. We have two different meaning in French. Sons, because it is very important to understand. Sons is song. Vous comprenez? Sons is something like the senses. Say what the sons, a what a song. And your sounds of the language. It's sounding. C'est clair? Sound is your toucher, is to touch. Say, this is what a song. Jason, mademoiselle, vous comprenez?
Oui. Oui.
Why? So song is your sound of the language, which is touch. Say what the long. Mais sons is something like your senses. So my sense is elle touche à la santé de la population. It affect the health of the population. C'est clair. Why? Why? Because today the topic is, I just want to explain to you comment vous posez la question. Now, par exemple, question, mademoiselle, if you want to raise your question in terms of, don't you think so? That it touch. That it touch the. It touch the. Very good.
C'est la touche à la santé de la
Very good.
population.
Very good.
Population.
Ok.
La population.
और on peut utiliser beaucoup de choses over here. On ne pensait pas.
On ne sait pas.
Because see, your tone has to be like this. I'm raising a question. Now, for example, in English, I'm raising a question. But I'm saying sons is song. Your sound of the language, song. It will explain to you, to your jury, that you are, see, I'm doing very simple question. Vous ne pensez pas? I will say, vous ne pensez pas, mademoiselle, because this is what a song. Your sound of the language has to be strong in terms of whenever you are raising a question. C'est clair. Now, for example, I want to raise a question to my jury. I will say, to my sound of the language should be what? Tell me, madam, how I can raise in terms of my sound. Vous ne pensez pas, mademoiselle ou madame, vous ne pensez pas, elle touche à la santé de la population? C'est votre
Elle touche à la
son,
santé de la population.
c'est votre son, sound of the language, because your sound will explain to you, you are raising a question. Obviously, évidemment. C'est clair.
Okay.
See, sometimes we use a different terms for the questions, obviously, but sometimes I will use my sound of the language. C'est clair. Tell me yes or no. Okay, now, Jashan mademoiselle, posez la question avec la même phrase.
Avec la phrase là, elle touche à la santé
Exactement,
de la
mais vous devez
population.
poser la, exactement, mais vous devez poser la question.
Ok. Ok.
Et, vous ne pensez pas.
Like the same one, it's like
it is just your yes, it is just
vous ne pensez
sound.
pas.
It is
Elle
just
touche à la santé.
exactly. It is just in your sound. It is something like fourth more strong touch. Strong touch in terms of, okay, tell me how to raise a question in English. You tell me. Don't you think so? We can raise a question, right? So I'm saying, don't you think so? Don't you think so? C'est clair.
Oui.
Why? So raise a question like this in French also. Because after documenté, votre langage engagé, vous devez poser la question dans votre corps. C'est clair. D'accord? Now repeat the question like this. Vous ne pensez pas.
Vous ne pensez pas.
Your song, your sound, votre voix, your voice has to be in the question. Has to be.
Vous ne pensez pas.
Elle
touche à la santé
de la population.
De la population.
C'est clair. C'est clair, Chitra, madame? Why?
Oui,
Why? So, vous devez pratiquer comme ça. C'est clair. Okay. Then because we're doing the topic of les fumeurs, d'accord? Now repeat after me. Now you have to use the connector of the côté. Very, very important. I will explain to you. Okay? The côté, répétez après moi. So over here we have côté. The côté. Because you know what, the moment you will start your topic with these type of connectors, yes, obviously, because it is very, very important. The côté. You know, you say on the other hand, on the one hand, you use in English, on the one hand, on the other hand. Tell me. Listen, mademoiselle, the côté, it is on the one hand.
On the other side.
Exactement. On the other side, on the one hand, on the other hand. So obviously, if you will utilize your connectors, definitely it will take you in a good ranking. Say Claire, tell me yes or no.
Est-ce que c'est le même comme de notre côté?
Ah, c'est la même chose, exactement. C'est clair? D'accord? D'un côté, répétez après moi, s'il vous plaît, mais vous devez appliquer. C'est clair? D'accord, Jason, mademoiselle et Chitra, madame?
Oui.
Ouais? So, répétez après moi. D'un côté,
De côté.
les fumeurs, because we are talking for a fumeurs, Abhi. So, les fumeurs ne veulent. Now, again, you can raise a question. I will explain to you comment. C'est clair? Les fumeurs ne veulent surtout pas. Now, this is ne veulent. So, ne veulent surtout pas. This is something like a very, very important thing. I'm going to explain to you. Okay? First, I will complete the line. Abandonner. Abandonner. You know, abandon in English, abandonner.
Yeah.
Le petit plaisir quotidien. Le petit, very important. And I'm telling you that's a reality because these are something like very important points which you can use in your topic which contain the disadvantage because with the help of this, you will be having an ideas. C'est clair. Le petit plaisir,
Le petit plaisir.
c'est clair, plaisir quotidien.
Abandonné.
Quotidien. C'est clair. Now, what is this? I'm saying, listen to me very carefully, very carefully. I'm saying, d'autre côté, on the other side, les fumeurs. Do not, if I will say, on the other side, les fumeurs, the smokers, do not want to give up their little daily pleasure basically. What is this? Le petit plaisir quotidien. If I'm saying, this is something like a small pleasure. Because once you smoke, it gives you pleasure for a few minutes or a few seconds, maybe. So you will say, don't you think so, mademoiselle et madame? On the other side, d'autre côté, we can say the côté, the smokers do not want to give up, abandonner leur petit plaisir quotidien. A small plaisir is my pleasure. Plaisir is my pleasure. Quotidien, what is quotidien? C'est votre activité. C'est votre tâche. Quotidien is something like your daily activities. C'est clair? D'accord? Why? Chitra madame et Jessie mademoiselle? Why?
Oui.
Why? So what I'm asking to you? C'est bon? What I'm asking to you? I'm asking to you, mademoiselle. Par exemple, je vous pose la question. Bon? Mademoiselle et madame, vous ne pensez pas les fumeurs ne veulent surtout ma pays, especially in my country, surtout ma quartier, répétez après moi, surtout ma quartier, especially in my area, les fumeurs ne veulent surtout pas abandonner leur petit plaisir quotidien. C'est clair. Tandis que
Like the fumers, like asking the question, like, don't you think that fumers don't want to give up their pleasure in life or something?
exactement. And the same way you will raise this question, tandis que, very important connector, tandis que, mademoiselle et madame Chitra, et mademoiselle
While
Dishan, you have to pen down these connectors while, tandis que, because if you want to increase, you know, if you want to say what to s'allonger, stretch, the verb s'allonger, stretch. If you want to stretch your question, now, par exemple, en anglais, if I raise a question, if I want to stretch, je veux s'allonger, stretch. Le questionnaire, I can use tandis que, while. Okay, I will write it down, then you will understand, right? Tandis que, de l'autre, répétez après moi. Tandis que, see, you know what? It is something like the session is under recording, obviously. You can see the recording also. But it's something like you have to write down and you have to practice, because the moment you do these sort of practice basically practice. The moment you will do this type of practice, you will come to know like, okay, this is something like a language in which will work for a fact. Take clear. Like you already have done grammar, you already have done, a lot of things, but something like the connectors play a vital role. C'est clair? D'accord? Tandis que de l'autre, les non-fumers, non-smokers. Les non-fumers ont. Again, we have no. This is something like, I will explain to you how you can utilize this, because if you're a beginner, it is very tough to understand on no. On no. But yes, now you will come to know. The moment you will apply these type of senses, obviously there will be a question to the jury. Yes, he has to give the marks. So les non-fumeurs on no, répétez après moi. I will explain to you how you can utilize it. It is just you to repeat after me first. Les non-fumeurs, les non-fumeurs, les non-fumeurs, on au contraire. C'est votre contraire.
Les non-fumeurs en au
Contraire. So, this is exactly your question. Ce qu'on appelle, ce qu'on appelle, c'est clair, la fumée secondaire. La fumée secondaire. Now, par exemple.
La fumée secondaire.
Exactly. La fumée. E we have a ague, A sound. Clair. Over here we have E we have a ague. C'est clair.
Okay, la fumée secondaire.
Exactly. I'm saying tandis que while on the other side, the l'autre. Now répétez après moi, jeune mademoiselle, tandis que de l'autre. Répétez après moi. Very important. Jeune mademoiselle will say in English, but on the other hand, while on the other hand, tandis que de l'autre.
Yeah, it means while, right?
Exactly. While on the other side, but on the other side, while on tandis que the l'autre, the non-smokers. Okay, chalo, let's repeat from the beginning, please. Les fumeurs, novel surtout. Repeat it, please, Jason once then. Yes, repeat it, please. From the beginning.
Okay, I'll repeat from the beginning. Les fumées ne voulaient surtout pas abandonner leur petit plaisir quotidien, tandis que de l'autre, les non-fumés et en contre ce qu'on appelait la fumée secondaire.
Yes. Have you done E and O? Have you done E and O? Why? Okay. Because obviously, because if you apply your E and O rules and regulations, okay, in your sujet, obviously, because it is just we are trying over here to